Now we're good.
Are we on?
We are on.
We're live.
I'm ill prepared. That's Mike Gebert. He is the man who runs Fooditor. Just put out a book. We'll talk about that. In the back seat is Brendan, the proprietor of Big Guy Sausage Stand here in scenic Berwyn, right on Roosevelt Road. I'm going to get the podcast ready right here. The podcast, the live stream, everything you're enjoying right now is brought to you by Boost Mobile. The phone we're doing the Facebook Live on is a Samsung Galaxy S8 phone that I run on the Boost Mobile network.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Okay, that's Mike. That's Brendan. Brendan, you are the proprietor. You make magnificent sausage confections, treats, delights, food. What are we about to eat tonight?
All right, what do we have for you? We have the Rudolph Sausage, which
The
is
Rudolph Sausage.
a venison, pork, beef sausage. We kind of put a little beef and pork to cut some of that gaminess. It actually has mulled wine ground with it, some fresh thyme, blueberries, and then we top it with
Fresh thyme and blueberries.
caramelized onions and a goat cheese, a whipped goat cheese. Yeah.
Now, I know about this place because of Mike. Mike, through Fooditor, you've written about this place multiple times. It is in your Fooditor guide, the new guide for 2018.
Fooditor 99.
Right, for 2018. What do you like about this place?
You know, there's a million hot dog stands all over the city and the suburbs, but every once in a while there's the one that goes further, that tries more interesting things and just aims for excellence in a lot of ways. Hot Dog was one, and to me the best heir to hot dogs is this place right here in Berwyn, Big Guy Sausage Stand. Brendan O'Connor, the proprietor, has stated. He does. They make their own sausages. Do a lot of different styles of them, and change them monthly depending on themes for the month. In November, he did a turducken Thanksgiving themed sausage, and now it's December, so we have the Rudolph, the reindeer sausage.
And the sign out front says what, Brendan?
Which one? Oh, the marquee?
Yeah.
Ho ho yum. Rudolph won't be guiding any sleighs this year. Something along those lines. Something really gonna send me to hell that much faster.
It's funny you should say it like that. Mike Gebert, as we were trading emails about where to go and when to go, he said, "Yeah, we'll try the reindeer sausage because we're all going to hell."
Exactly.
I believe we said when we posted on Facebook, he said we just made it from the naughty list to the shit list.
All right, so can we try this? Now, Brendan, you're not eating anything. You just
no, I'm burgered out. I actually had a burger about an hour ago.
Okay, so you plied us with food. This is going to be challenging to eat in the car, to say nothing of eating it on camera. So there's a pastry bag filled with goat cheese. They're piping it into our French roll here. This is not going to be pretty. Here we go. I'm getting the blueberry. Getting that sweetness in there.
I have actually had reindeer before, and this is really good reindeer.
Holy crud. And the onions and the taste of the venison. This is delicious. Brendan, this is a minor masterpiece.
Thank you. Yeah, that one's got, we don't put too much on it. It only has 2 ingredients on top. It has a lot more ingredients in it than on it. We definitely cheat a little bit with the pork and beef to kind of cut the gaminess and I think make the venison a little tastier, personally.
But you need that for sausage anyway, because you need the right meat to fat ratio. When people try to make a lean sausage, all they do is make a dry sausage because it doesn't have.
Well, I don't even think a sausage is a sausage without pork. Honestly, it's not.
Yeah, so pork fat is essential to get that right texture.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do for your fries?
They're just twice cooked, but we refrigerate them overnight. That's our trick.
Now talk about why twice cooking is essential to fries.
Well, it pulls that first bit of moisture out of the potato, and it doesn't crisp them up or anything like that. It just cooks them, pulls some of that water out, and then if you try and then just fry again, which is what the majority of everybody who does fresh cut fries does, is they'll blanch them, let them rest for a couple minutes, and then hard fry them. That's the other thing, is you're not cooking at a high heat. You're cooking the first fries at 275 and the second fries at 350. But it won't be as crispy. Something about, I don't know what the magic is, but when you refrigerate them overnight or frying them the next day, it just makes them crispier. I imagine it pulls more water out overnight, but we played around a lot, and we cannot. You have to refrigerate them overnight.
Well, we were talking about Edzo's inside, and he does the same thing. He'll do the fries after the shift the one day, and then hold them till the next day to fry them that second time.
Yeah. They're still good.
My mouth is stuffed with reindeer sausage. What I like about this place, if you live in the west suburbs, like off of 290, this is a really quick on and off the expressway. So if you're looking for something you can't find anywhere else, like this reindeer sausage, I mean, it's so easy to get to. Is if you work downtown, live in the western suburbs, just jump off, bring sausage home for the family.
290 in Harlem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
super easy.
It was a Parky's back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Parky's being a sort of Oak Park, Berwyn area mini chain, probably 4 or 5 at the height. I don't know.
I think there was only 2.
Only 2? Okay.
Yeah.
But something a lot of people in this area I know grew up with. So you're in kind of a classic vintage hot dog stand building.
There's
Need these?
a lot of seasoning.
Sure, thank you.
This building is well seasoned. I think it could hold some record for like the most grease ever, that ever permeated the air of tiny per square foot or something like that.
So when did Big Guys open?
We opened in July of 2012. And,
was it a hit right away? Did it take time?
Well, we were on this this reality show that was, one of Bobby Flay's. I think it was his 2000th type of show he did. This one, they only made 6 episodes. It's called 3 Days to Open, and it was just like a fake soft opening, and you only have 3 days to open. The whole thing was contrived. It wasn't actually real, but it gave us a little bit of it aired about a month after we opened, and everybody here, you met Eves inside. Him and I, we grew up here in this area, and we know a lot of people. So the first month we were really busy from that, and then we were on Food Network, and then that.
So I mean, that's a pretty rapid.
Yeah, so we were really busy. I mean, we were really, really busy. Our food was a lot cheaper back then too. We were kind of giving it away. So yeah, we were busy. When we look back at it, we're like, well, we kind of we're like, man, are we just that much better now? And I'm like, you know what? We were really busy back then for what we were doing. We are that much better now, but it was definitely just get in and do it, and you got to line out the door kind of thing when we first opened. And
was this your first restaurant?
Yeah.
So what made you decide this? I know you wanted to be a food writer, maybe when you were younger. What made you decide to open up Big Guys?
It was this location. It has some nostalgia to me and a lot of people in the neighborhood, and it had been closed down for a while, so I didn't buy Parky's. It had been turned into a bunch of taco stands and different things, and nothing lasted more than 6 months here, and I was just like, why won't someone just turn it back into a hot dog stand and actually care about what they're doing, and so it's just the timing was right. I had gotten a severance from the job I was at, and just had not that much money. It's kind of I still don't really know how I pulled it off, but I bought the building and opened it up, and we opened really quick. We did quite a bit of work, but we got it done really fast and just kind of opened. I don't know what made me do it. I don't know. I wasn't as smart back then.
But that's part of it, though. That kind of fearlessness, like, I'm just going to do this. Mm-hmm. And that's youth right there.
Yeah, I was 28 when I opened it, so I was definitely a lot more bright-eyed and
reckless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're glad you did it?
I am, absolutely. I'm glad I did it. I don't know what else I would do or could do at this point. Like, I couldn't hold a real job at this point. Like,
I think everyone in this car has reached that point in their careers where
yes.
we got that one thing we do, and God help us, that's it.
Yeah.
May that one thing never go away. Otherwise, we're toast. Wow, that sausage was delicious. Now, here's the thing. We're inside, and Brendan said, what else can we get you? So we're sitting in the car looking at a burger and a Polish, in addition to the reindeer sausage we just had. Is that the burger?
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about the burger.
So we grind the burger meat fresh. It's a blend of chuck and inside round and brisket. And
it's monstrous.
This is the big guy style. So this is a Thousand Island dressing.
This is huge, dude.
This is a 6-ounce burger. Yeah, it's got some girth to it.
It does. It does. It's not the length; it's the girth of the burger.
$6.95. I mean, it's a $12 burger in the city all day. Mm-hmm. It's Berwyn. We're very competitive on our pricing here. So yeah, it's got shoestring fried onions. Got an old school Thousand Island. We use chili sauce, mayonnaise, Hellman's mayonnaise, and we chop up celery and red pepper and a bunch of hard-boiled eggs and
oh my gosh,
a couple of this and that to make that Thousand Island. It's my grandma's old school Thousand Island recipe, and then just thick cut pickles. We cut them in house. That's about it, and that's the big guy style. So
I really like that it is kind of an old-fashioned burger. There's not, there's no sriracha on it. There's no like weird trendy stuff on it. We don't have, our slice of truffle or anything like that. And it's a classic burger. It's got a good kind of burnt outside or a little well charred outside. Yeah, I mean it's just about as nice as a burger could be in all the ways that your grandfather would recognize, except maybe that it's a big fat burger. So
when we decided to come to Big Guys, Mike forwarded me the article he wrote about your journey, Brandon. This has not been an easy slog for you. I didn't want to talk about it over the Facebook Live video, but you've had some significant health challenges. Yeah.
There was some rough patches. It was like, I had rectal cancer. I'm clean now, but
wait, we should stop there. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's
nice.
A big freaking deal.
Yeah, my wife thought so. You don't even have a chance to, and that's when it happens when you own your own business, though. You don't have a chance to, like, slow down and like, appreciate what just happened. Like, oh, I just beat cancer. It's like, oh, I just beat cancer. I got to get back to work.
Yeah, I got to open. Yeah.
Get shit together. But it was, I think what I was most proud of is I have this crew of guys that have been with me since the beginning, more or less, and I was able to just kind of abandon them for about 4 months when I just kind of went into a chemo surgery hole, and these guys just did a real service to our customers and to me, and they just kept the place going, and I was beyond hands off. I think I even had my sister doing my payroll for me. I didn't do anything. I just stayed home and got better, and the place did run itself. So that was really cool. And Michael wrote a pretty great article. It was pretty awesome, actually, for Fooditor. That was right when I think that was when he first kind of.
It was early on, yeah.
Early on in it, yeah. And again, it was a nice article that it wasn't about something just, hey, this is here and it's new and exciting, and it's the first place to serve a burger with a sparkler or whatever. It was like hey, this is like when you own a restaurant, and if you get sick, you're kind of fucked. Like, there's not too much.
You don't work, you don't get paid.
And but yeah, somehow, just like everything, this place is like one miracle after the next. Like that, we were able to get along this lawn and through that. But
I do like the human stories.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in listening to what you have to say, because I know it's hard. I mean, you live this life. I'm assuming your days are like 12 hours long.
They used to be. I'm getting a lot better at taking it easy now, but
that probably took, because this was your first restaurant, probably took some time to.
Oh, they were over 12 hours. When I was, we used to be open till 3 in the morning. So,
was that a good-looking crowd after midnight?
It was not. No, that Berwyn after hours crowd was not that attractive. It was, it was funny. We didn't do that bad of a business. It was just that we had to hire more people. The equipment was breaking down left and right because it was just getting overworked, and we didn't buy, that heavy-duty commercial-grade stuff.
Right.
The staff was, getting into extracurriculars, when I wasn't there or whatever. It's just a lot of temptation for employees to do bad things that late at night when, you're not able to open and stay till 3 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly right.
We had all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, I had a guy throw himself through a wall once.
Through a wall?
Yeah, I don't know. He just lost it. Nobody knew what happened. He was a delivery driver, and he just got back from a delivery and just literally, I got there the next day, there was like a man's body, like in
like a Roadrunner cartoon.
Yes, it was just stuff like that. So we scaled back the hours and whatever. You learn how to make things easier, and you learn how to work smarter, not harder.
And that's the way you succeed. Mm-hmm. So some restaurant owners never get to that point.
And actually getting sick, it was a weird transition because I was very hands-on before I was sick, and now I don't actually work in the front of the restaurant all that much. I come in the morning, and I'm more of like in the office,
mm-hmm.
And we do a ton of catering, and it's a lot of back and forth with customers and setting that up and putting lists together and back office stuff.
All right, so 2 important things here. 1, can you pass the roll of paper towels up? 2, it's time to think about the Polish sausage.
I know, it's been sitting there.
Uh-huh. I wasn't going to eat
still
the
have
Polish.
it snapped. This is the thing that I eat most often here at the restaurant.
The Polish, really?
It's just, and it's actually, we don't even make the Polish ourselves. Like it's a huge Polish. It's a Vienna Polish, but I just think we do it the right way. We slice it, and deep fry it, and
very classic mm-hmm. Maxwell Street looking Polish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our. But like, I don't know, with the thing, like when I'm like, oh man, I'm hungry, need something quick from the restaurant, the Polish seems to be my go-to.
Yep, got the snap. Let's talk a little bit about the Fooditor 99.
Okay. Why, I'd be happy to.
So you did this last year, it was your first one.
Right.
For this year's version, what was the thought process? You knew it had to be different from the previous year.
Right, or nobody'd buy it.
Right.
A few places closed. A few places I thought, it's not as good as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
But very few of either of those, really. I changed about a third of the book entirely. I think there's 35 new places in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that partly is because it is just sort of skewed toward what's new and
mm-hmm.
what's worth checking out. And then I rewrote another like 10 or 15 entries to some degree, just because I had been there again and I had different opinions about it. So I thought I should update it that way. So, about half the book has changed in some fashion. But it's geared toward being what's going on right now? What's exciting right now? It's not. There's no. Setting this in stone forever.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurants change every day, and it's just kind of foolish to think of them as, which I think Michelin does, to think of them as you can have your opinion on them and it's set there forever.
Right.
Or I think some of the reviewers, they'll review important restaurants and then not talk about them again for 10 years.
Right.
And
chefs change. Menus
all
change.
kinds of change. Their influence on the city changes if they're a popular place.
Sure.
All those things change, and I like. The reviews are not always terribly long in the book, but because sometimes 3 sentences you can kind of say all there is to say.
Agreed.
But I like returning to places and talking about what they're doing to now, as opposed to approaching it as I need to write 1,500 words on this place and I'm going to craft it once and it'll be there forever. So,
all right. So a couple of things I want to hit on at the very end of the book. You have an addendum. One of the things I find myself wrestling with a lot is I want tacos. There are so damn many taquerias, and the facades all kind of look similar.
Yeah.
The few stand out. You actually have, at the end of the book, 12 pretty darn good Mexican spots. This is a public service.
Well, what that came out of was, at the end of it, I kind of make a master list as I go along of places that I think would be good. And then as I'm going along, I cut some of them because I got enough of that kind, and those are better, whatever. But I always end up with a long list of Mexican places that I like a lot.
Sure.
And it just seemed worth it because it is one of the things I get asked a lot. The 2 things I get asked is, hey, what's really good right now, which usually means kind of a more upscale place, and what's a good Mexican place, which means what's the family restaurant, what's the Mexican family restaurant, not some fancy downtown thing that where the mama is is cooking the mole in the big pot and somebody's patting out the tortillas by hand. That actually is the one thing I'll say. I always used to look for, how do you spot a great Mexican restaurant from the outside? There's no guarantee, except a good clue is if it says heche a mano, made by hand. If they're making the tortillas by hand inside, again, it's the place that cares enough to do it that way. Not that there's anything wrong with places that use the good tortillas.
No, but I get where you're going with this, yeah.
But it's a sign that they care more, just like, Brendan's specials are, or any number of things.
See, I'm married to a Spanish teacher, and she's had none of these tips for me, Michael, so this is good to know.
Eche a mano.
Yeah, so look for that. That's the one thing I think you can see on the outside. The reverse of that, I suppose, if it says authentic Mexican food in English, that's a pretty good sign that it's not.
One other thing I learned from the Fooditor 99, you're a pie man. We can't escape.
Pie.
You do.
I come from Kansas, We make pies out there. It was really one of the things that surprised me when I came to Chicago was people didn't make pie here.
I love a good pie.
And finally, we got a few places. Who's Your Mama? What's that place out in Hinsdale? It's like Tia Marie or something like that. That's really good.
After Bang Bang and Who's Your Mama, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah, Bang Bang's great. I go to Bang Bang for, on the day that my maid comes and I have to get out and go work somewhere. Bang Bang's one of my regular stops for that.
What kind of fantasy life do you lead? You're eating pies, you have a maid. I want to be you.
I should just go to Bang Bang in my...
Tell me more about this American dream you're living.
In my smoking jacket, and sit by the
when
fire.
You talk about taco places, I've noticed, have you traveled on, in Melrose Park? On Lake Street there, where there's 15 on a 2-block radius, and what my wife, who grew up over in that neighborhood, explained to me is that each one has one taco that they actually do well, and then the rest of it they kind of just
I think there's real truth to that.
Really?
And my friend Titus Ruciti just wrote something where he said you should order
Titus is insane.
He has a blog about tacos, and he's been to over 1,000 taco
That's
places.
why he's insane. I've interviewed him before. He is advanced level taco aficionado.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
He's in Vietnam right now, eating 36 bowls of pho a day. So,
I mean, he's all in.
yeah.
All right, so you're talking to Titus.
All right, so, and he said, order the taco at the top of the menu, because they'll put whatever they really care about at the top of the menu.
So, H.A. Mano.
H.A. Mano means made by hand.
And taco at the top of the menu.
Those are clues. I mean, they only go so far. You got to try it.
But this is a good starting point.
Right.
If I'm making a roadmap to good tacos, this seems like I'm heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Another Mexican place you mentioned is
Birria Zaragoza.
It's a goat
place. Wonderful place. It's actually in an old diner, which is charming in itself. But they roast goat and serve it in like super spicy broth with. You can get salsa on the side, make tortillas by hand. I mean, and they're so nice. It is just the platonic ideal family Mexican restaurant.
Platonic ideal. That's amazing. One thing I wrestle with, I have 2 children. I can't afford to go up and down Randolph Street.
Right.
To eat. I mean, I am on a big guy's budget 99% of the time. So I read the Fooditor 99, and I tend to skim past those places and zero in.
Sure.
So for people like me who are interested in, we live in the city, but we're doing it on a budget. We've got kids, money's tight, holidays. What are some good picks out of the Fooditor?
Well, you can always go to Chinatown. There's no I suppose now there are ways to blow a bunch of money in Chinatown, just that there are places
like the hookers.
Or if you get on one of their vans to the casinos.
Uh-huh.
But there are places where you can get like a whole Dungeness crab and that's live in the tank and stuff like that. But mostly Chinatown is a place where everything is $7.95 unless it's $1. And so I mean there's just tons of fun food to play around. One of the best things that ever happened in my life was when my younger son, the picky one, suddenly decided that he loved Chinese food, and it's like our vistas of possible family dining just widened suddenly. But a lot of that, any of these kind of ethnic foods, I'll see these articles all the time where somebody writes family-friendly places in Chicago, and it's, that
Chili's.
Or it's these fairly expensive places that have like 1 or 2 little things that work for your kids. It's like, where the family-friendly places are in Chicago? Head in any direction from downtown and stop at an ethnic restaurant and go in with your kids. And they will love you,
correct.
Except for the Serbian places, because they're all in there, smoking and watching soccer. That's the one exception, I suppose. But otherwise, it could be Mexican, could be, Arabic, it could be Thai food, whatever it is. They're going to be super friendly. There'll be some simple things that the kids will eat. Basically they'll eat bread and fried dough and stuff. When my kids when they were babies, it's like I went to some Middle Eastern place and they're like bringing him yogurt and feeding him at my table, and then they're like dancing with him to the music. They love kids, and it's a shame to me that people don't expose their kids to all these different things that are out there, because they're 98% of the time they're totally friendly and they're totally welcoming.
Well, I find it funny that so many people ask me why I don't have a kids menu. And that's what people are looking for. They're like,
you serve hot dogs and burgers.
Yes, I go. You look at the kids menu on any restaurant, and my menu is the kids menu. So it makes me laugh. But like, that's what it is. Like when they make those lists, like best place, they're looking for a place that has a kids menu, and not just like common sense that. Yes, no. If your kid wants white rice and grilled chicken, pretty much everybody can put that together or whatever.
A warm pita, there, your kid can eat that.
So pizza is tough to write about in this town. Everyone has an opinion. No one's opinion is necessarily correct. You boldly stepped out on this place, Pizzeria Bebu, on North Fremont. I knew nothing about this place until I read your review.
It's totally hidden. It's in an apartment building kind of behind that whole Chi-Chi complex that has like the ArcLight Theaters.
Over by like North and Claiborne.
Right. And it's a really interesting, funny story. I did a piece about it, but the two guys worked together at some restaurants like the Publican and places like that. And the chef had been making pizza just for staff meal, for family meals, they call it, because he could crank them out before a shift at Publican or Avec or wherever. And everybody likes pizza. So but he was also like really serious about following, learning how to do like a 3-day rise and, all this kind of fancy stuff. And also what he put on the pizzas was kind of fancy too, because he would just take things that they would have at Publican and just smear them on a pizza and bake them and things like that. So, it's really, again, kind of the accidental artisanal pizza that way, but it's terrific. So, Bibu, yeah. I think I've the last 3. It's 2 of the last 3 pizzas I've ordered at home, I think.
So last year we talked about the first Fooditor 99, and we went to Con Barbecue on Devon, that Indian food paradise, Devon Avenue. This is one of the restaurants that it was included again this year. Any different thoughts?
It's very steady. I used to think that if it wasn't meat at Con Barbecue, they didn't care about it and it could be erratic, but even that's not true anymore. I mean, it's always good. It's before my son went off to college, it was one of the places he wanted to eat, one last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're not going to find that going away to school.
In Northfield, Minnesota, where St. Olaf is, I don't think there's a lot of Indian food. So yeah, I mean, and to me, it's just a perfect example of, again, just the place it's a little distinctive. They do a really good job with the grilled meats, and I've just been happy every time I've gone there, which is probably 25 times at least.
We can add your voice to people praising Old Irving Brewing.
Old Irving Brewing is fantastic.
I'm hearing so many people talk about this place.
I mean, but it's like worse than Smoke wasn't when it first opened in terms of, you can be there at 5 o'clock and you're still going to wait in line.
Right, and you say that. You're very clear about that.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, God knows, if anybody could get away with second-rate food, it's a good brewery. Mm-hmm. You got some burgers, great. And there are 2 of them in the book, actually, Forbidden Root and Old Irving, that both, do really creditable food, not too expensive. And that's another thing about the book that I think, putting it all together, I kind of get a sense of what the trends are, just seeing what I drift to.
I see a lot of farm to table.
Absolutely. Which, again, is just a sign of caring more about what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the one thing I really noticed is nobody opened a really expensive, like, $4 sign in the guidebooks kind of place this year. There really just isn't one. Even 3, kind of rare. A few of the hotel restaurants, which mostly haven't been very good, were kind of in that range. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are opening relatively modest price places. Look at, like, Proxy and Elska, which are 2 new restaurants that I put both in the top 10. They're both near, West Loop, Randolph Street, somewhere around there. But they're all places that have, like, a $7 plate of this or that.
Right.
It's just not. I think chefs are kind of tired of everything that goes into doing that really high-end, super, fancy tablecloth, fancy chairs kind of place.
Another similarity, I think, between Old Irving and Smoke, both places opened up in areas that were starved for cool places to go. They had the vision to drop their place in an area that didn't have anything like it. It was
and you never
courageous.
know if that's going to work or
right.
It's going to be a complete failure. But in that case, it's very clear there was an audience desperate for something good that wasn't just a burger in a bar, and both those places, were rewarded for making that. Effort.
It's a leap for sure.
Yeah,
Smoke is still in an area that no one's followed Smoke because there's nowhere else to go in that area.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of surprised. Sometimes, I was at Hot Doug's once, and. It's like Hot Dog, it was open and then it closed for a while. Mm-hmm. And all through that, I thought, why doesn't someone else open a place like that? Why don't they do this thing that he does of putting things like Brendan does, cheese and a well-made sauce and all that the hot dog, and it just kind of didn't happen.
Right.
And so I was in there one time, and a guy comes in to deliver, from like Cintas to deliver the rubber mats. And he comes in at like 12:10, and there's a line around the building at hot dogs. Mm-hmm. And Doug is like, "Go away! You can't walk in here at 12:10."
That's amazing.
And he goes out grumbling. He's like, I deliver hot dog stands all day. It's like, yeah, but none of them have a line around the building like this one does.
All right, so a couple more quick questions as our food is starting to digest. By the way, this was, again, delicious.
It's just fantastic.
Seriously. We talked about kind of the cheaper options in Fooditor. If someone wanted to just go all out, date night, what's the restaurant in your guide that is a slam dunk?
I mean, just charming in every possible way is Oriole. It's also in the West Loop. Noah Sandoval, who's the chef, worked at Schwa for a while. He worked at...
Schwa's in the guide as well?
Schwa's, yeah. The real rock and roll kind of high-end restaurant. Mm-hmm. He also worked at one called Senza that was actually a gluten-free restaurant. So he was doing kind of high-end gluten-free, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's a niche.
But anyway, so it's just sweet. It's tucked away in this hidden little building. You actually walk through a freight elevator to get into it, which they lock down, so you're not going anywhere. It's a tasting menu. It's just all really nicely done, and they're just so nice. I don't know. I'm just saying nice a lot, but that's what it is. I took some people who, I consider civilians. I mean, they like good restaurants, but they're not obsessed with them like I am, and they were just kind of walking on air as we walked out of there. So
that says it all right there.
What's the what kind of food are we talking about?
It's it's fancy tasting menu food. There's going to be precious little dishes of lobster here and caviar there and things like that. Nice. But all really nicely done. And, price-wise, I mean, obviously it's expensive, but it's half as much as other places in that same vein. So it's not super, super expensive.
This is why I ask you these questions.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
On Car Con Carne, have the police ever pulled up and been like, why is this car so steamed up? Why are these windows so foggy with all these men?
I've had police slow down when I've been parked on the street, look in, and just keep driving. It's never been enough to get them to actually get out of the car, shine a light, ask questions. I assume that day's coming.
I'm just watching these windows fog up and just wondering, how suspicious this looks.
I kind of hope it does happen because odds are with it. If it does happen, I'll be recording. And I think it'd be really funny to have on the recording.
Could make some good radio. Yeah,
some fun audio. All right, so big guys, the address on Roosevelt is
7021 Roosevelt.
7021
Berwyn.
Now, I want to be emphatically clear as I say this. Yes, I have the owner. Yes, I have the proprietor in the car. Other less scrupulous people would just blow him just because he's in the car and say, "Oh yeah, you got to go to this place." No joke. If he weren't here, I'd be saying the same thing. This food is tremendous. I mean, the burger was magnificent. The reindeer sausage, I'm probably going to talk about for another 3 weeks. Really wonderful food. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
Mike, Fooditor 99. Again, it's on Amazon and a bookstore.
Roscoe Books in Roscoe Village, yes.
Let's hear it for Roscoe Books. The independent supporting the independent.
So you're in like 25% of the bookstores in Chicago, though. You can say that, right?
Yeah, that's food media and bookstores both kind of going in the same way.
Before we
thank God I'm in radio.